So Stargate embarrasses herself on Conscious TV, and Derell and I have a talk. So let's talk about it.
It's Blog Lounge Entertainment, and the time is right with T-Pre.
Grand rising, all my loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as me. Everybody slept as well as I did and had a great weekend like I did this weekend. Shout out to all of you for tuning in today. Also, the ones who will catch the replay. I know that I do some very early morning videos, and some of you have said, that you're not able to catch them, but you do catch the replays, and you're really excited about that. I go live in the mornings because it's probably the easiest time of the day for me to go live. There are other times where I can make time to go live, but as far as having a nice live stream with you guys and have a decent discussion, most of the time that's done in the morning because I just have more time during the day and early morning before I do anything else. So, just to keep up with some consistency with that, I wanted to find a time that would be, more suitable for me to go early. Go live. And so early's are, in the mornings are probably the best time for me to go live. But let me know what you guys think. Of course, I can try to make some adjustments on that. But yeah, this is probably the best time for me. Okay. So shout out to the ones who are able to make it in, and also the ones, who definitely catch the replays. I do know I've got some folks that are in other areas of the country and even other countries that catch the replay later. So shout out to you guys. So let's talk quickly about Derell and I. We did have a discussion, and shout out to Derell. I really, really appreciated his presentation yesterday that he did on sexual deviancy because it really proved that Derell and I really are on the same page when it comes to that. I think there was just some misunderstandings from Derell in regards to people's stance on this situation with binary and the sexual abuse. I think that Derell wasn't quite sure where people stood, and he thought there may have been, a lot more people than he thought that were pushing back on Derell regarding the matter. But I think I think we got to an understanding of what was the misunderstanding between Derell and the people. And I think what it was I don't think he was diagnosing this man at all. I just think that being an expert in the field, I think that may have possibly used some analysis from things that he knows and expertise that he has in order to come to a conclusion, but not an assessment or not a diagnosis. And, okay, it's understandable. In his mind, I don't think he was intending to do that, but I think he understands now where people may have possibly gotten that from. Okay. Also, I think he understands too more that, like I said, we're all on the same page when it comes to the thoughts of sexual deviancy. Okay. So there was about 5 things in the presentation that he brought up that definitely you can put binary in that category when it comes to the behavior. Okay. So unfortunately for binary, that didn't turn out too well. But fortunately for Derell, fortunately for myself and others in the sector, we were able to have at least an understanding of where we're all coming from this, and that Black people or even people as a whole should not be gaslit for reporting, okay, and feeling that they should report. Because part of the reason why we have some of these horrible statistics in our community regarding sex abuse is because people are not reporting. And also because people are afraid to report based off of how people will react, how the law is, and how this is affecting predators and this is affecting um, victims. And Derell actually even also came to that conclusion that we need to do more in our community as far as that the laws may need to be changed. Okay. Even though we're talking about what the law is and what, this actually brought light to the law in our sector at least. And, giving us time to at least have these conversations and to open up the door for these types of conversations because we haven't been having these discussions. Okay. We've been afraid to have these discussions. And, one of the points that we brought up even last night, and shout out to Pillsbury, because he said, hey, I feel like I need more evidence when we're saying stuff like this. And I'm glad he brought that up because that is a point. Okay. We need to stop saying, oh, I need more evidence in order to tell somebody this. Okay. We need to stop with the stigma of this is going to ruin somebody's life if it's not true. Well, what if it is true? You understand what I'm saying? And we just don't say anything at all. Now, this is ruining multiple lives because we're not saying anything. So we've got to start weighing and outweighing that kind of thing. I'm not saying that this should be used against people as a weapon because it certainly should not. And I also am not one of the people that feel that I need to report him. But I am not against anybody who feels that they should. I'm not against anybody who feels like it is the right thing to do because it is absolutely the right thing to do as long as you're coming from a righteous place. Now, if you're coming from a space where you're trying to hurt him because you don't like him, then that's a different story. But I doubt if anybody in this sector would be coming from that space. And the reason why is because nobody knows binary enough or would care enough to come for him in some kind of conspiracy, against him. At the end of the day, this is a story he told, and he has to suffer the consequences for telling that story. And he has to stop taking advantage of Black people and thinking that Black people are not cognitive enough to make better decisions than that. And that also Black people are not smart enough to get past these types of conversations and to address people properly regarding those types of conversations. So again, shout out to Derell. I'm not saying that he was trying to take a side because I don't think he was, but he had to be objective in the situation. And in being objective, he really did come to pretty much the same conclusion that the rest of us have all come to. And that's binary does in fact display predatory behavior. So report. If you feel like he is displaying predatory behavior, you have the absolute right to report him. And again, all of this judge and jury questions about whether he'll be convicted and whether that is irrelevant, okay? Because at the end of the day, if there is an investigator is an investigator. Let the investigators do their job. Let the investigators do what they need to do to uncover whatever it may be. It is not up to you to be the judge, to be the jury, to be the cops, to be this. It is up to you to be the reporter. And that's it, if that's what you choose to do. Okay. And you are absolutely in your right to do so if you feel that this is enough and warrants enough for you to report. And that's for anybody in our community. We have got to get away from the stigma of the fear of reporting. Okay. For the sake of not ruining someone's life. It's not going to ruin your life well, I'll say it like this. I'm not saying that someone who experiences going through a unneeded investigation, okay, would not experience trauma from that. But this is not the case with this situation. He told this story, okay? So if this story is not true, that's his fault, okay? If this story is true and he told the story to the public, again, that is his fault. He will need to take responsibility for that. And I can care less about him gaslighting people for not taking responsibility for it. That's his choice. That's the life he chooses to live, but he's not going to live that life with me. You understand what I'm saying? Like Binary is going to have to take responsibility for his ish, and we are not going to be bullied into silence because he just doesn't like the fact that, we are willing to report. This is a new set of black folks, okay? We ain't got no problem reporting your ass, bro. And that's just what it is. And if the women or the men are going to report him, then that's what they're doing. But me personally, I don't feel like I have a reason or a need to report him. And that's just where I am at with that. So again, shout out to Derell. I really appreciated that conversation with him. And yeah, let me say a couple of things to you guys. I see you guys are in the building. Hold on one second, guys. What's up? Sometimes I appreciate you being in the building. Shout out to you. You said thank you for going up there. Yep, no problem. It was great. It was I really do appreciate conversation with Derell. I've had several conversations with him over the past year or two. And I've always appreciated his perspective on things. He's always been pretty level-headed. I know that lately has been a lot going on with, some of this stuff. But generally speaking, Derell has been very level-headed, and I've agreed with a lot of things with Derell. And yeah, so I knew I could go up and have a conversation with him, a nice diplomatic conversation with him regarding this, and we would be able to get on the same page. Because I knew we already were on the same page. I just think he just didn't understand that. Good morning, Muslim. I appreciate you being here today. Thank you. Sometimes you said, right, what about the victims' lives? Exactly. Like, a lot of times in these cases, we're not thinking about the victim. We're thinking about how we're affecting the predator, how we're affecting their life, and what's going to happen to their wife and their kids. But nobody's thinking about the victims' families or the victim themselves, And sometimes says good morning. Muslim says good morning. Hey, Samba Queen, I appreciate you being in the building. Also one of my members. Thank you for being here. Clark, hey, you said good morning, T-Pre. Muslims sometimes get carried. Hope all have a great day. Me as well. Good morning, TMK. I appreciate you being here today. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get into the conversation on Conscious TV's channel last night. Okay. Now, I really think Stargate dropped the ball. Okay. Now, let me tell you guys what I really wanted for Stargate. And even though, hey, Stargate's a grown ass woman and nobody can make her do anything. This is something that I really, really wanted to see her do. And she really, really dropped the ball. Okay. I wanted to see Stargate apologize to breaking the culture of silence because number one, she is completely wrong about that situation. Okay. So she should have apologized to breaking the culture. Why she didn't do that, I have no idea. Good morning, Gigi. I appreciate you catching a live and thank you for tuning in. So she didn't do that. She definitely dropped the ball when it came to apologizing to breaking the culture of silence. Okay. Breaking the Culture has clearly shown Stargate to be a liar. She has clearly shown that Stargate cannot produce the proper receipts it would take to prove this bullshit that she's saying about her. Why she's saying it in the first place, I have no idea. But ultimately speaking, I don't know, why Stargate just completely just missed the mark with that. She even didn't want to take Binary's advice on that. And even Binary was telling her, look, sis, you wrong. You need to apologize. You know what I mean? And let this go. And Stargate still just wanted to double down on that whole thing. She claims that she had ran a receipt through Binary and asked him, about this video. And Binary was letting her know that wasn't sufficient evidence to prove her case. And so she didn't want to show that video. Thank goodness she didn't, because it would have just been another embarrassment for her. But where I think Stargate is missing the mark is forget about trying to be right all the time. It's like she just always has to be right. She can never be wrong about nothing. That is the problem that she's had in this sector with the people in this sector, from men to women. And now she's spilling that over into another sector. Okay. I thought, at least she would say, okay, forget about them. These people in this sector already don't like me. I've already had problems. I've already created a bunch of issues with these people. So I'm going to go ahead and float on over here. I have a fresh, a fresh new carcass over here. I don't know anybody. People don't know me. Maybe I can just be quiet, listen in the background, apologize for my past, and move on. And then gain multiple subscribers, multiple, followers from just being on a panel of a man who has 32,000 subscribers, okay? Active subscribers. Now, they might come for various topics. They might not all 32,000 be there at one time, okay? This is what folks don't understand about YouTube. You can have multiple audiences, okay? Multiple people coming around to view you. There's some people that will always come. And then there's some people who will only view you for one thing or view you for this or whatever. Conscious TV has so much content that he has various audiences for various things. Stargate really, really could have won over the hearts of some of these people, and these people actually become a subscriber, push her subscriber count through the roof, and then next thing you know, she's monetized. Next thing you know, she's got memberships, and she's got her own following of people that like her, support her, and care about her. And then she could talk about whatever she wants to. You understand what I'm saying? But she really, really dropped the ball on this. Like, sis, you went up there with the same damn story, no receipts, okay? You still talking shit about this woman who has proven you to be a liar over and over and over again. And for what? This time, I can't blame Binary. Now, I can hear like towards the end that she was reading them scripts again. Okay, so shout out to Binary for trying to send her some rescue scripts. But yeah, like I can't really blame Binary for this particular situation. Stargate, you keep jumping out the window at this situation and putting your neck out here for some bullshit. Like at the end of the day, sis, it took a woman who is my daughter's age to get, and I'm pretty sure that girl Sunshine, because the girl checked the shit out of you. I'm pretty sure she's pretty young. She's probably around between 20, 22 or 23 or something like that. But I have a daughter that's 25 and I have one that's 20. So between the two of them, that's how she sounded. And yeah, like I said, my daughters, I don't even have to have these types of discussions with them. They are more mature than Stargate. I'm pretty sure her daughter, her oldest child, 25-year-old, 26-year-old, is more mature than Stargate. People wanted to know how old Stargate was in the chat. It was crazy. People literally were saying, like, how old is this woman? And the girl Sunshine was like, how old are you? And we started blurting off how old she was. She's 46. Stargate's like between the age, she's about 46 years old. Okay? She's not 45. She's not 20. She's not 10. She's 46 years old. And people were shocked at the real age of this woman. You would think that she was young and she was just inexperienced, you know what I mean? And she didn't have, a 25-year-old daughter and a 16 or a 17-year-old daughter. You would think she had like no kids, or she was still in high school, or, she just doesn't have any experience in life. It was so, so sad. I mean, it was like really, really a body bag over and over and over again. And it was like she kept putting herself in that body bag and zipping up the body bag over and over. Like, oh, honey, honey, honey. I was just like, and I mean, yeah, I was coming at you, but I do that shit anyway, whether it's in your chat or somewhere else. So, I don't feel bad about that. I just feel like you really, really could have, made that so different. And now people are not ever going to look at you the same. Okay. They're always going to look at you like that. People are always going to think that you're, an airhead. People are always going to think that you on some bullshit. People are always going to think that you're lying. People are always going to think that you be doing some dumb shit. And it's funny because all of those people, well, most of them were willing to allow yourself to redeem yourself. Okay, like, okay, maybe she was just having a bad day. Maybe she was messing up. She realized that she slept on it. Now she's going to come back and apologize and we can move forward. No, the only thing you kept saying was, I'm wrong about the video, but I'm not. Like, and then he still gave you another receipt showing Larry Reed having a conversation with Breaking the Culture of Silence in regards to her previous relationship. And you still kept doubling down on your lies. This is the shit you did with Bombay and Jay. This is the shit you've done with me. This is the shit you've done with Money to Burn. This is the stuff you have done with everybody. So in this sector over here, this doesn't do nothing but drive home everybody's points, okay? And anybody that halfway believed you before can't believe you now. This is probably why people like Divine Seven, and shout out to her, is like, yeah, I can't fuck with that. You understand what I'm saying? Because people, anybody who had a little bit of respect for you left over in this sector, that shit is out the window now, for the simple fact that you go over to another sector and you do the same exact shit. Well, if you're going to blame her, well, if you're going to blame me for this, well, are you going to say something to her about when she, like, this is, you cannot take responsibility for your own fucking actions. Like, you cannot take responsibility for your own shit. Everything has to be, well, if I did it, then somebody else has to be responsible too. Or if I got to do this, then you got to say it too. Or if I got to apologize, then you need to apologize first. Or like, it's, oh God, people who are adults, okay, who are free thinking adults, do not wish to engage in conversation such as this, because this type of shit is what makes you want to cuss a bitch the fuck out or smack a bitch in the mouth. And nobody got time for that, okay? We try to be nonviolent in life, okay? We trying to be nice. We trying to be sweet. We trying to, be diplomatic with people in 2022. We're not trying to slap everybody, okay? But this is the type of conversation that makes people want to cuss you the fuck out, okay? Because you really don't understand that there is something wrong upstairs, okay? Like, you're not grasping. And I can't diagnose you because I am not a psychiatrist, okay? But what I can say is that you have been unstable on these YouTube streets for a long ass time, Stargate, okay? And the trolling, the funny part about it is, it's almost funny because one of them had said, that they don't take you very serious because they just think you're trolling. Okay. Sometimes I want to believe that. Sometimes I think you are trolling because, of course, you're part of Troll Fam, Troll Gang, Code Fam. But I also believe that a lot of this stuff you actually feel. Okay. Now, I think some of the confusion and the keeping up the confusion and stuff like that, I think you like to do that. I think the flirting with the men and all that stuff, I think you like to do that. But I do think, honestly, that some of this stuff in your head is really in your head, and you really believe this shit. Like, it's crazy. You really, really do. And it's sad. And I hope you get the help you need, honey, because you too old to be doing this shit. I know everybody tells you that. I know you've heard it many and many times. But listen, if everybody keeps saying the same thing, you really, really might want to look into that, boo. Okay? Because that was sad. That was really, really sad to see. And like I said, I really think you dropped the ball. I really think you should have done much better and at least try to to work with that sector. Okay? And like I said, it was 300 some people, probably peaked at 400 some people watching the show at one time. Okay? And here you are still lying on the show like as if 400 people weren't watching it with you. Okay? And well, okay, well, that isn't what happened. That's not what I said, and all this other stuff. And everybody's watching the show with you. Okay. And they were watching the show the other day. Okay. Yeah, Stargate. That is a much larger space. Okay. So in this small space, you might be able to get away with saying something somewhere and everybody hasn't heard it. Okay. But over there, that's not the case. When everybody is listening to conscious, he's his own sector alone, his channel. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so people come to watch that channel, they come all together. That's just what it is. So everybody's going to see and hear what you said at the same damn time. Like, you got to stop acting like that's not what's happening. So again, I'm going to need you to do better, Stargate, when it comes to um, your discernment. Maybe when you go to another sector, because honey, I don't think they want you over there. I'm just letting you know. I'm not saying that conscious won't have you back, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to keep bringing you on the panel to bring up the same stupid ass conversation and the same stupid ass subject. Okay. Because honestly, what they don't know is this conversation about the smoke god and you is over a year old. We don't give a fuck anymore about that shit. And at this point, they're not going to give a fuck either, because they think you're a liar. Like, that's just that, because you have fucking lied. You have been shown to lie. You cannot prove and bring receipts for the shit you say. Like, that's just that. And the funny thing is, the only freaking receipt you actually had last night incriminated you. So that's just that. Let me get into these comments in regards to this. I think I said shout out to y'all already. Grand rising to you. And sometimes says good morning to Bombay. And Muslim, you said, oh Lord. Gigi, you said good morning, all first time catching a live. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Hey, too big for skinny jeans. I appreciate you being in the building. You said, can we cancel her? LOL, she's making the sector look bad. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't feel like there's a reason or a need to cancel her. I think Stargate stands on her own. She stands on her own island. And we don't have to, all be this monolith who accepts or denies. I honestly think that she's on that island on her own already. And she's going to have to suffer the consequences of her behavior. But the only problem that I had with her is, I do want to see her win. I don't want to see her lose. And I think she really missed the mark there. I think she really missed it. Good morning, HM, my member. I appreciate you being in the building today. Shout out to you. Germ, what's good? I appreciate you being here. Skinny, you said she sounded like such a child. She really did. She sounded like a, I can't even describe it, because I don't want to say like a teenager, because I feel like I don't want to call her like a teenager, because that's almost disrespectful to call her that. Like, I mean, teenagers aren't active. The teenagers I have known and have encountered don't even act like that. You know what I mean? For real. Yeah, the teenagers I know aren't behaving that way. That's why I don't get it. You said too big. I agree. She was trying to make my brand look bad. Yeah, shout out to Sector Wars. I appreciate you being in here. She definitely did try to make it seem like you had chopped and screwed that video. One thing for sure, and two things for certain. All of us have watched Sector Wars for about a year. We've been watching his content. He'll have he'll have seasons. So the first season and then the second season. I believe he's on the second season. He's working on the third with some of this stuff. But shout out to Sector Wars, because Sector Wars has been able to keep some chronology and kind of some records of stuff that has really, really happened in the sector. People cannot rewrite history because of Sector Wars. So shout out to Sector Wars for that. But there's been a few people that have tried to rewrite history that has happened in this sector. And because of Sector Wars and what he has on his channel, people aren't able to do that. So shout out to you for that. I really appreciated that, because if you hadn't captured some of these videos, bro, I'm telling you, there's some people who would really have people believe in some bullshit. So thank God you had that up there. You said facts, wars. She's the worst. Exactly. Samba, you said I wish Star would have apologized and just backed down. The more she spoke, the worse things got. Exactly. She doesn't. I don't think she. I don't know if Stargate understands the concept of accepting responsibility. Okay. I know that it can be difficult to accept responsibility for some people. Um, and for certain things, depending on the severity of the situation, depending on how hard, depending on various factors, it could be difficult for people to accept responsibility for things. But Stargate tends to not accept responsibility for anything, like at all. Like she never takes she is literally never wrong, and that is her detriment. And you know what? That also can be Binary's detriment in this situation. So I appreciate it, even though I don't fuck with Binary. I'm glad he didn't try to go up on the panel and rescue her. You understand what I'm saying? Or try to get into conversation, because he needs to allow her to swim on her own. Also, um, he, even though he created the monster that she is in a sense, um, he also, I think he recognizes that some of the things that she's saying is going to be detrimental to his channel if he continues to keep, caping for her. Okay, because again, that was an opportunity for him as well. Okay, because even though we all know about him, we all don't fool with him. That's not how they all feel about him. Okay, they don't all feel like that. He presented some evidence to them, presented some information to them, and to them, they feel different. They don't have the same, mindset that we may have because we have experienced him in a different way. So he's kind of dropping the ball over there too by caping with, if he would be caping with Stargate all the time, he would end up not gaining new subscribers and new followers, because they don't want to deal with her. So that's something he needs to think about too. And I think he did that yesterday. So, Too Big said, "What's up to Germ?" You said it's one thing to be young and dumb, but old and dumb. Okay, that's a whole nother ball game. And yeah, baby girl is like 46. She's between 45 and 47. I'll say that. I don't think I know she's not 45 anymore. I'm pretty sure she's almost 47. I'll be honest with you. If she didn't just turn 47. Um, Pretty sure she is. So yeah, Stargate is way too old to be carrying on and acting like she does. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Germ says, "Peace to you, Brody." TMK says, well, Bombay, although it was proven you're not JJ, I still won't apologize until you show me the email to prove you're not working with him. Exactly. Like she always moves the goalposts when she knows she's wrong. And that's been the same shit now, in our sector. And now it's the same shit with breaking the culture of silence. You know what I mean? She has to move the goalposts, and breaking the culture has to prove something beyond what she's already proven. And keep in mind, breaking the culture never had to prove anything to this bird bitch. You understand what I'm saying? She just did that to vindicate herself. Like, honey, you're not going to sit up here and say that my story, you're not going to tell my story for me. I'm going to tell my story, and then you can respond, but this is my story. You're not going to make up my story. You're not going to make my story what you want it to be. And it's funny because she came from that out of nowhere. And you know why? Because she felt like her position was threatened. The same way she felt her position was threatened with Carrie Ann in the sector. She felt like Carrie Ann was getting all the attention. Carrie Ann was getting all the men that were coming over, hanging out. They were supporting Carrie Ann, and Carrie Ann didn't have to show her titties to do so. Carrie Ann didn't have to show all this other stuff. She didn't have to stand up and do all these things for men to show her attention. And Stargate hated that. She hated that she had to go beyond, and she had to kiki with these men and ha-ha with these men and agree with everything in order for the men to, what she felt, to accept her. And Carrie Ann could just be herself. It was the same thing with Breaking the Culture of Silence. When Breaking the Culture of Silence came on the scene, Binary was smitten. Oh, look at this woman. beautiful woman. She's intelligent. She got her shit together. And Stargate felt intimidated. Let's keep it real. So she went on a campaign to try to destroy that woman's name. And it backfired. It backfired. Like it backfires every single time. And it will continue to backfire until Stargate gets in her mind and an understanding that she's not in competition with other bitches. Okay. She just needs to be herself, be who she is, and let that be, and stop competing with everybody all the time. So you said, or okay, that was the same comment. Oh, you said, or, well, Bombay, although it was proven you are not JJ, I still won't apologize until you show me the email to prove you're not working with JJ. Right, JJ. And you said, Sector Wars, I will turn it up a bit in the next coming month or so. That's what's up. And JJ, you said, Clark, yeah, she really does, but she didn't always. This is a recent change. Yeah, it is. You said, how do you change the definition of integrity? You see her trying to do that last night? She was trying to change the definition of integrity to make herself look good. I couldn't believe I was embarrassed for her. I really was. I don't know why, because she wasn't embarrassed, and that's the sad part. You said it looked to me like she took a shot at binary near the end by mentioning the P word out of the blue. That felt like a passive aggressive shot. I think she did that because I think she expected binary to do more last night. Now I do think binary did throw her a couple of text messages to say in regards to breaking the culture, but I don't think that he wanted to go in, and I don't think he wanted to make it sound like it was coming from him. So he definitely went light, okay, because the stuff she was saying wasn't making any sense when she was reading her messages at the end, towards the end of the argument. But yeah, I think that's because I think binary is playing smart with that, because I don't think he needs to get involved with this, even though he created this monster of a troll. You know, unfortunately, him creating that could also again affect his brand, and I think he realizing that, and he's backing off. And I don't think she liked it. So she probably did throw some shots at him. You said Stargate has said out of her mouth that she is never wrong. Exactly. Exactly. That's why she's in the position she's in. TMK, you said, yeah. Oh, you said sector words. TMK, you too peaceful. I might have something though. I gotta check the crates. You said I have never made it to one episode of Sector Wars. I'm filing a complaint with the sector admin team. Yeah, shout out to Sector Wars. I really appreciate you. And like I said, if it wasn't for a lot of information that Sector Wars has been able to capture, because a lot of these content creators have erased videos, or they've taken videos down, or their channel has been deleted, or whatever the case may be. And so a lot of that stuff we would have forever lost, and everybody would have been sitting there trying to figure out what happened and what didn't. But yeah, Sector Wars be having that ish, and that people can't get past. So TMK, you said JJ, it has been great working with you, reposting items that people said personally out of their own mouths. Right. Am I missing one here? You said, okay, I got those. And then Samba Queen, you said, I don't believe she was trolling at all. She was adamant in her views. Yeah, I think that last night for the first time, um, I was able to see myself, that because I've been thinking that binary has been behind a lot of this, and I still think he is. But last night it was clear to me that these are her thoughts, okay, and these are her thoughts alone. Um, I think, like I said, he tried to throw her a couple of bones at the end, but I don't think he was really actively doing that like he would be doing in our sector, okay, like he would be doing over here. I think he was really trying not to do that and not engage and not get involved, and probably trying to stop her too. But being Stargate, she just kept going forward with it. So yeah, that was that great analogy, Samba Queen, because I think so too. Um, you said, JJ, but seriously though, has this sector figured out that girl's routine is all scripted act for clout and the promotion of her boss's channel? Yeah, but that's I think so too, TMK. But I think that's, like I said, I think that's kind of the chickens coming home to roost for him, because it ain't working out that way over there. You see what I'm saying? I think he wanted her to go over there and start over, redeem herself, maybe tell a new story or tell her old stories, but not get in there arguing and fighting with the women. You see what I'm saying? And that's exactly what she went over there and did. That's what she did. So now they're not gonna fuck with her either. Like, I don't know what to tell her. But listen, I'm not here to be just not doing anything, that not just wasting my time getting on YouTube talking to y'all and not, doing not nothing's coming of it. It's just ridiculous. You said I've never made it to one. Okay, I think I read that one. All right, guys. Well, if there aren't, oh, okay, I see a couple more comments here. You said, okay, let me go up a little bit. All right. You said it looked to me like she took a shot at binary near the end. Okay. And then Clark said, how do you change the definition of integrity? JJ, you said exactly, hits below the belt, Clark said. And then TMK says, sector wars, I'll turn up a bit. Let me go down some because I saw some comments I didn't read. You said, why does she keep saying the word integral? I don't know. She kept repeating that because that was the only thing binary threw her. Like, that was pretty much the only thing that binary tried to throw in there, because there was a slide up about integrity. And so he just said, here, let me just throw you this real quick. And she started repeating that. But that was all she could keep repeating because that was all she had. He wasn't throwing her nothing else. Y'all can see that. Y'all can go back and look at that yourself. And then I think I saw where she was trying to implement her own words into it, but it wasn't working. I mean, it was just clear that she was reading a script. And then it said, now she's trying to say, Breaking the Culture said she was watching porn with Smoke, which she never said that. Nobody ever said anything about her watching it with him. You see, I saw that too, Skinny Jeans. You see how she'll take and add certain words to a sentence, or remove certain words, or change the word so that it has a different meaning. Okay? No. We're not going to do this, because that's what she does. She likes to throw that confusion spirit in there so that, oh, well, you know what? You so mentally drained that by that point you don't even feel like arguing with her. Okay? That's her strategy. But no, that's not what we were doing. You said that in the entire text messages, it doesn't matter whether she said, what she didn't say, or anything. We can see in the text messages that she got a link to the porno, and that clearly she saw the porno, because the next thing she said was, well, I didn't she said, well, how am I supposed to know if that's really you? I mean, that was what she said. It wasn't a block come up. There wasn't a, I'm not fucking with you, Smoke, don't ever do this again. There wasn't a, how could you send me something like that? What's wrong with you, nigga? There was none of that going on. It was well, how do I know that's you? So clearly you watched it. And I said that in my interview with her months ago. It was about a year ago, almost about 9 months ago. I said to her, if first of all, how did why did you open the video? And her answer at first was, well, the video just came to my phone and it automatically opened. That was her answer. She gave a whole different answer last night on Conscious TV's channel. Well, I got the video and I opened it, but I didn't know it was like, she had a whole nother set of lies last night. Y'all, the video of her in my interview is still up. It is wide open to the public. Okay. I mean, y'all can see for yourselves what she actually said in my video, which was 9 months ago. Okay. About the smoke and about those text messages. And then now what she said last night. So who's the liar? I mean, clearly Stargate's a liar. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a link to that video, to that interview in this description box. So for those of the new ones that are here and haven't seen that interview, you can look for yourself exactly what she said. Okay. Exactly what she said about those text messages. Um, and it was amazing because I gave her a lot of pushback in that video, in regards to those text messages. But it's amazing how she tried to spin it then, and how she has forgotten that she tried to spin it in various places, and tried to spin that story, on various platforms, and those platforms forever have that information. So she cannot lie about things now and say something else. Okay. So yeah, that's unfortunate for her. But she wasn't going to sit there and try to play word semantics with breaking the culture over that video. At the end of the day, she was the one that clicked on the video and watched the video and then made comment about the video. TMK, you said integral has nothing to do with the meaning of integrity. Exactly. Exactly. And that's funny because I think he was throwing her some of them bones and she didn't even realize what he was doing. It made her look stupid in the end. She said, JJ, you said all she has to do is apologize to Breaking the Culture and Conscious TV. I think she fits well over there. The apology ain't got to be sincere. Just apologize and move forward, Stargate. I agree, JJ. I think it would be much better for her to just apologize. Sometimes you just if you're wrong, you're wrong. Let it go. It takes a much bigger person to admit and have the ability to admit when they're wrong about something. Okay, and to move on from that. But clearly, she really has a problem with doing that. JJ Clark, like you said, JJ. I hope she can get to a place of balance. Me too. And I think she will eventually as well. I hope so. I don't know because the bitch is almost 50, y'all. Clark, you said Samba Queen. She wasn't trolling. She just wants to be on the panel. Yeah, she loves being on panels, and it's always kind of been like that. From what I understand, she was with Seti's camp, got put out of there. There's a couple of other places that not Seti, Sonetta's camp. She got put out of there for very similar stuff. And she's been here. She's been to a few and through a few sectors, and has always tended to have issues with the women. And then eventually the men will catch on, and they're not fooling with her either. You said they went over there to talk about let me see your transcript, but they really don't know that sector. Exactly. They don't. It's crazy because that sector is a large, large place. There is ultimately very many, many, many content creators in that sector that none of us have met or seen yet. Okay. Um, and when you call it a sector, it's kind of hard to call it a sector because, like I said, it's not a collective group of people that go from one content creator to the next. It might just be that some of them are tuning into Conscious TV and also tuning into another content creator, and some of them also are tuning into another content creator. That's how large of a space that is, and compared to this one. So some of us, we might see each other, in various spaces because it's kind of a smaller space. Okay. Where we would see each other almost all the time if we're going to the same content creators. But again, I think it's a great idea to branch out and to start going and dealing with and working with other content creators. Um, but if you're going over there, don't tell lies because it's going to backfire. And that's exactly what happened to both of them. Clark, like you said, she lashes out first, and when people respond, she latches on and responds and changes the direction of the conversation. She does it every single time, and it don't matter who she's talking to, it don't matter what's going on. She will do that every single time, and it's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. Germ says, peace to JJ. Clark, I agree. She was adamant in what she was saying, no trolling. Yep. She was extremely adamant. And the fact that we know that Binary does not feel that way, that he's on the total opposite of that, I can't blame him for this one. Germ says, what's good, Clark? Clark says, Propane said, do not call him at 3 a.m. Oh, And Kay, I'm glad that you brought that up because it's funny because we knew that she was texting Smoke late at night, but I didn't realize how late it was. I never really looked at the timestamps of the video of the text messages. I just knew that they were late. Okay. I'm thinking it was like late, like 10, 11 o'clock at night, because to me, that is late for calling somebody's husband on the phone. Okay. 10 o'clock, what are you on the phone? You shouldn't even be on the phone with him after 8 or 9. You know, you understand what I'm saying? But if you really want to be on the phone, if you got to be on the phone with him, okay. But 10, 11, that's really late. Honey, what the hell are you doing on the phone with this man at 1:33 in the morning? You should be the fuck sleep. You should be doing some spiritual work. You should be doing something for your kids. Something like that, okay? Like, why are you on the phone with somebody's husband at 1:30 in the fucking morning? No, baby. No. Absolutely not. You ain't keeping nobody's husband in line at 1:30 in the motherfucking morning. I don't give a fuck what's going on. That nigga would have saw the block button so fast, it wouldn't have made no goddamn sense. You hear me? You don't owe these niggas shit. I don't care about your friendship with him on YouTube and all that. That ain't got shit to do with your cell phone. Okay? Listen, I don't care what you talking about, oh, I told my sector that I was just too nice to say no. No, you did not. You told us that he sent it you without your knowing and that it just opened up on your phone. That's what you said in my interview. Okay. You didn't say nothing about you were too nice to say no or none of that shit. No, that's not what happened. You have changed that story so many times, you don't even know what's real or not anymore. And yeah, like I said, if Smoke's wife wanted to smack the shit out of you for being on the phone with her husband at 1:30 in the morning, she has every motherfucking right to feel that way. Every fucking right. Because you were coming for her man. I don't care what's going on. And if you didn't want to show that appearance, you shouldn't have been on the phone with him. And honey, it's not like I'm talking to a teenager. It's not like I'm talking to somebody in their 20s. Bitch, you older than me. You older than me. You should know better. And I think you do know better. I think you just don't want to know better. You want to look innocent, and you're just not. You said not the one. Hey, shout out to you. I appreciate you being here and being new. You said you guys can keep her after show after the show her after showing her that she was wrong, she doubled down on her lie. Let her keep arguing with the walls and roaches. She is a dangerous liar. Absolutely, she is a dangerous liar. She has done that many and many a times within this sector, not the one. She has lied on so many of us content creators. It is ridiculous. And then she'll try to go other places and gain sympathy and act like she's some type of victim. That has happened so many times. And unfortunately, she showed the world that. She showed that sector, she showed you guys that over there. All she wanted was conscious TV's attention. That's all she wants from any man. Any man's attention she could get. She likes that. She loves being the center of attention. And if she's not the center of attention, she will make sure she's at the center of attention by throwing out some type of controversy. And then everybody's talking about her. JJ said that's a social media sector where the people are are their real selves. It's not compatible with trolling. Exactly. Yeah, you can be yourself on Facebook and don't have to be, on YouTube, and you don't have to be a troll or somebody else. You said, please keep Star Smollett. We don't like her. Now, she's been exiled from here, too. That's why the U-Hauls were out in front of conscious TVs last night because, honey, she had to get up the fuck up out of here. We not fucking with Stargate. We've been exiled Stargate up out of here. She might think that she still has a space here. She's got a space on certain people's panels, but in most of our panels, she doesn't. Hey, Josephine, I appreciate you being in the building. Shout out to you. Clark, you said, Germ, I'm good. Happy Monday. Enjoy your day. Too Big, you said, definitely after we just did a 4-hour live, right? Yeah, good day to you, not the one. I really appreciate y'all. You said, my apologies at Black Lounge Divine Mod and chat. No, you're fine. We appreciate you being here, and thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I definitely wanted to get to know you guys over there too. Make a change. You said you can always count on T Pre to give us a morning show. You know it. And I appreciate you being in the building. Make a change. Samba Queen, you said, I wish she hadn't had those conversations with Smoke in the middle of the night, but I blame both of them, not just Star. Yeah, I blame both of them too. But we've already come down on Smoke like a year ago regarding this. Smoke is not the one constantly talking about this. Stargate is constantly talking about this. So it may be possible, Samba Queen, that you weren't aware of that. We have been Many of us have given Smoke pushback over those text messages. Hell, I remember the men, such as Bombay, Binary, and a couple other ones, had even made some videos in regards to that, just clowning Smoke over those text messages. And shout out to Bombay. I don't know if that's still available, but many people had held Smoke to the fire over that. But this conversation is so old. Okay, it happened so long ago that nobody's talking about it anymore. And Smoke isn't even talking about it. But every chance Stargate gets, she brings up this subject. And that's why she's getting the heat for that now. And still getting the heat for it because she keeps talking about it. She keeps bringing it up. You said, Clark, thanks. I hope you enjoyed your Monday as well. Clark said, I would never be talking to a guy at 3 a.m., not even someone I was dating. Not even my brother. Exactly. Like, a nigga, if you on the phone with me at 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody better have died. You understand me? That's facts. If you're my man, you should be in the bed with me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Abe, Black Abe, what's happening? I appreciate you being here. Everybody's saying good morning to Joe to make a change. You said that's it. 100. Yeah. You said I agree with Conscious TV when he said she enjoyed the attention. Exactly. And I'm glad he said that because Stargate doesn't understand that a lot of us were saying that. We weren't saying that she was trying to break up Smoke's marriage. Maybe some people said that. But she collectively takes what one person says and makes it like everybody said it. Okay. I have not heard a majority of people saying that they think that she was trying to break up Smoke's marriage. What I did hear people say is that the conversation and the time was inappropriate. She played a part in the inappropriateness of the conversation, even though she was trying to make it seem like Smoke was coming for her, but she played a major part in that. She did not shut it down. And it's funny because last night she read all of the messages, okay? And all of those messages were not in Bombay's chat video, and they also were not all in Binary's video, which means that she held back a lot of those messages for over a year. And it also went further to reveal that how much she did not cut off that relationship with Smoke, when it became inappropriate. Because he started to call her babe and she was responding to him calling her babe. Okay. So this was well after the porno. This was well after him talking about jacking off. Well after that is when she, revealed that he called her babe. Even what's his name? Recognized Logic or whatever his name was up there. Even he who had this face like, what? Like, he calling you babe? Like, even Conscious TV had to do a stop the record moment. Like, what? This man just called you babe? And she was just like, well, yeah, but like, you can't dance around these words. Again, you, Stargate, chose to reveal these text messages. This is the problem with you and Binary. Y'all choose to reveal things to the world that you don't have to reveal, and then you want to be in your bag when you get feedback on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you did not have to reveal these text messages between you and Smoke. You revealed those text messages between you and Smoke because you wanted everybody to feel sorry for you for how Smoke was exiling your ass from the Smoke gang. Okay. And that's why you brought up the text messages and you wanted to redeem and redeem yourself from some fucking bullshit, Stargate. Okay? Like, that's what it all started over at the end of the day. And now this is where you are. And now you done spilled this shit over into another sector. A damn shame. Damn shame. Damn shame. Yeah. Joe says, "Hey JJ, Knowledge TV, Ashe, yeah." And Samba Queen, you said Samba Queen, yes, that is the point we are constantly trying to make. Both are wrong. Yeah, absolutely. But we've already held smoke to the fire over that. Stargate is the only one still talking about it, and that's why she's still being held to the fire. The integrity versus integral back and forth had me confused. I was cracking up at that. Integrity integral. Oh my God, girl. Go back to school. You said, I wonder if Star's daughter was in the same situation with a married man. I wonder what advice would she give her daughter? Probably the same advice she takes. Be honest with you. It's a shame. Black Abe, you said, do y'all remember that Smoke live stream were all night long? I don't blame. Do y'all remember that Smoke live streams were all night long? I don't blame her. Yeah, they were. He only did a one that was like 25 hours long, and they were all a part of it. I saw various people go in and out. I even have checked in. You said she loves talking about it. She loves talking about that shit, and it keeps knocking her upside the head every time. Not the only one, not the one you said we only came to see her show us receipts. We kept telling her she didn't exist, and she showed up without them, and she wasted our time. Exactly. Exactly. And it's a damn shame. And you know what? If she had been able to show receipts or at least apologize and accept responsibility, she may have gained new followers because she has a channel, and she may have gained new subscribers and new followers from that. But she just doesn't have any integrity. Clark says hello to everyone. Shakim says, let's talk about Smoke lying, saying they were fake years after. Damn shame. Right, Shakim. Peace to you for being in the building. Not the one you said she knew why CTV had her come back. We weren't there to hear her laugh like a nervous hyena for 3 hours. Exactly. He allowed her the ability to come back so she can actually show her proof. You know what I mean? And she didn't have it. She didn't have it. And then she wanted to deflect and make it about her and Smoke. Ridiculous. Like she does all the time. Damn, she right. He says she dropped more text messages. Wow, she did. Yeah, she had revealed even more in those text messages than what we've actually seen here in this sector. And it was crazy. You said, were the texts revealed to protect herself from something? That's the excuse King Cobra Skinny is using for doing the same thing to Kwame in that Kwame sector beef. Yeah, it's like she's trying to use those text messages to vindicate herself. Okay, like she thinks that the text messages are somehow going to prove that she wasn't sleeping with Smoke and that she didn't want to watch this porn. At the end of the day, none of us give a fuck for real whether she wants to sleep with him or not. We're not married to him, so we don't particularly care. His wife probably cares more than anybody, and allegedly she doesn't, because if her and Smoke are still together, they going on vacations and all that stuff. Obviously, she don't give a fuck about the bird either, okay? But at the end of the day, Stargate only cares because that's Stargate's guilty conscience talking, okay? She's talking about it. She's constantly bringing it up because she knows she's guilty. And she wants everybody to validate her in the situation. And that's her fault. That's not our fault. That is hers. But anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and get out of here. We're about a little over an hour now. I really, really appreciate all of you for being in the building. Shout out to you guys for tuning in and for those who will catch the replay. I will talk to you guys later. Peace. I appreciate you guys.